Hi, I'm back. I wanted to do a read aloud to you. I sure miss reading stories to you and talking about books. Hopefully, you're reading at home. But here's one. It's Bear's Loose Tooth, and we've read bear books before. The author is Karma Wilson. Remember, the author writes the book, and the illustrator is Jane Chapman, and she's the one that does the pictures. Let's see what happens with Bear. You see Bear in here? He's in his cave. There's a few other words for cave. Remember we talked about that? A den and a lair. Looks like it's pretty springtime or summertime. I see the pretty green grass and some flowers starting to grow. This is the title page, Bear's Loose Tooth. From a cave in the forest came a munch, munch, crunch, as Bear and his friends all nibbled on their lunch. Bear savored every bite. He gulped and he gobbled. Then there in his mouth something wiggled and wobbled. As Bear nibbled his food, something moved when he chewed. It was Bear's loose tooth. Bear pointed in his mouth and he said, "Oh dear, my tooth feels funny. It's the one right here." Bear frowned and he worried. Tears welled in his eyes. "But how will I eat if my tooth says goodbye?" Hare said, "Open wide." And then he looked inside and he saw Bear's loose tooth. Remember, Hare is a rabbit. Mouse squeaked, "Don't fret, don't fuss. Look, see, a new tooth will grow where the old used to be." "We'll help," said Wren. "I know what to do. It's out with the old and in with the new." Wren perched on Bear's lip, and he got a good grip on Bear's loose tooth. What is Wren trying to do? He's trying to pull that tooth out, isn't he? I bet lots of you have lost your teeth or you have some loose teeth in your mouth, right? Wren pulled on the tooth with all of his might. "Is it out?" asked Bear, but it stayed stuck tight. "I'm a bit too small for the job," said Wren, so Owl grabbed the tooth, but the tooth stayed in. Badger said, "I'll try," and he gave a big pry on Bear's loose tooth. So pry means that you're trying to pull. He's trying to pry his tooth out. They all took a turn, but the tooth wouldn't budge. What does that mean, budge? The tooth wouldn't budge. It wouldn't move. You're right. Then, uh-oh, what's going to happen? Bear used his tongue and he gave a little nudge. His tooth wiggled to and fro. Then, what do you know? Bear's tooth fell out. If you look here, look how the author made the words bigger. So, Bear's tooth fell out. I'm going to get a little bit louder each time. It gets bigger and bigger. There's an exclamation mark. So, yay, his tooth fell out. See it right there in the grass. How exciting. Bear danced a big dance. Bear grinned a big grin. Bear held up his tooth, and he showed all of his friends. He sure is excited. Bear looked in the mirror, and he laughed at his smile. A new tooth would come, but it might take a while. That night in bed, right next to his head, lay Bear's loose tooth. Right there. While he slept and he snored, a fairy fluttered in, and she left blueberries where Bear's tooth had been. He woke in the morning and found the sweet treat. Bear's friends came for breakfast. They sat down to eat. Bear gulped and he gobbled, and he felt something wobble. Uh-oh! Bear's loose tooth. He has another loose tooth. What is he going to do? Do you think he's going to fret or fuss? Because one of the characters in there said, "Don't fret, don't fuss." So what does fret and fuss mean? Means he was going to worry. They don't need him to worry. Don't worry about a loose tooth. It's no big deal. It will come out and a new one will grow in. Get rid of your baby teeth, right? And then your adult teeth come back in. So that was Bear's loose tooth. And then one other thing I'd like to point out is that in our reading groups, before we had to stay at home and do our schooling at home, our reading groups, we have been talking about the conversation marks here, right here, the quotation marks. They kind of hang in the air right here and right here. So remember, we can be an actor, we can be an actress, and we can change our voices to act like the characters in the story. I love doing that. So here it said, Bear pointed in his mouth, and he said, and then I see a quotation mark there. And now I can act like the bear. "Oh dear, my tooth feels funny. It's the one right here." And there's the end of the quotation mark. So then I go back to a normal voice, like a narrator. Bear frowned and he worried. Tears welled in his eyes. And then here's another quotation mark. "But how will I eat if my tooth says goodbye?" There's the end of the quotation mark. So that is like a conversation. When you have the quotation marks around the words, that's the character. The bear was talking. Okay, well, I miss you, and I hope you enjoyed the story of Bear's Loose Tooth.